The streets of Newcastle are buzzing with something different. It feels as though the entire city is waiting for a revelation that could transform the club's immediate future. In pubs, cafes, and even the queues outside St. James Park, the chatter never stops. Fans sense that something big is happening, something not yet fully revealed, but already stirring anticipation and excitement. Everyone is talking about changes, new faces, and negotiations that could reshape the course of Newcastle United. And if you're passionate about the Magpies, you know the feeling whenever the transfer market heats up, the heart beats faster. So before we continue, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel. This helps our work grow, keeps you updated with everything happening at Newcastle, and ensures that no important detail escapes your attention. After all, together we can experience every emotion of this historic club even more intensely. The current moment is tense and full of expectation. The club is going through a delicate transition, with new signings arriving, some players potentially leaving, and ongoing negotiations still unresolved. Eddie Howe and his coaching staff know they cannot afford mistakes, as the upcoming season will be crucial for consolidating Newcastle among Europe's giants. Yet amid this whirlwind, a new story is starting to gain traction, and fans have already sensed that something out of the ordinary is about to happen. So far, the transfer window has brought disappointments, frustrations, and also glimpses of good news. Nick Waltermate has arrived from Stuttgart, a young striker nearly 2 meters tall, seen as a possible successor to Alexander Isak. Yet even this signing, welcomed as a relief, doesn't seem enough to calm the black and white hearts. Something bigger is at stake, something that goes beyond merely finding a replacement in attack. And here's the revelation everyone has been waiting for according to Court Offside. Newcastle has officially entered the race to sign Conor Gallagher, the Atletico Madrid midfielder valued at £45 million. The player, who left the Premier League just a year ago, is reportedly willing to return to English football, with the Tyneside club positioning itself as one of the interested parties. This is a move that could turn an already talented midfield into a true fortress. Gallagher is no ordinary name. He came through Chelsea's academy, shown on loans at Crystal Palace and West Brom, and has always stood out for his intensity and ability to cover ground. In London, Moises Caicedo described him as a machine, someone who never stops, presses relentlessly, runs constantly, and gives everything on the pitch. It's exactly this profile Howe is looking for to rebuild the midfield after recent injury losses. It's worth noting that Joe Linton and Sandro Tonali are sidelined due to fitness issues, and the absence of these two pillars has been felt. The midfield has lost consistency. The energy that used to pin down opponents has waned. That's where Gallagher fits perfectly. His versatility allows him to play as a defensive midfielder, a linking midfielder, or even a classic box-to-box role. He is not just someone who defends or attacks, he connects the areas, something sorely needed at this moment. Now imagine the scene. St. James Park packed, Newcastle pressing, and Gallagher in the middle, running tirelessly, winning balls, distributing passes, and igniting the fans. That alone builds anticipation among supporters. And to make sure you don't miss any updates from this transfer saga, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This way, you'll be the first to know if Newcastle actually completes this surprising move. The competition, however, will not be easy. Tottenham currently appears as the early favourite in the race, with Manchester United and Crystal Palace also monitoring the situation. But Newcastle is positioning itself as a dark horse, ready to invest heavily if the opportunity arises. The £45 million price tag is not intimidating, especially given the impact Gallagher could bring. In terms of balance, energy, and Premier League experience, few players offer as much. It's also important to highlight the emotional context. Gallagher has always been seen as a player with strong ties to England. His move to La Liga was a personal and professional growth decision, but reports indicate he never stopped missing the Premier League atmosphere. A return now would be symbolic, especially for a club like Newcastle, which is reinventing itself and seeking to consolidate its place among the giants. And the fans are already dreaming. This wouldn't just be a signing with technical impact, but also psychological. Newcastle's squad needs fresh energy, leaders on the pitch, players who do not shy away in decisive moments. Gallagher, at just 24 years old, has already shown this profile. An endless engine, someone who runs for three, but also knows how to decide with goals and assists. At Atletico, he played 52 matches and contributed directly to 10 goals, a respectable record. At the same time, Gallagher's arrival would serve as a response to the market losses Newcastle suffered in recent months. Several targets slipped away, others ended up at direct rivals, and frustration gripped the fans. But this move, if realized, shows that the club has not given up and is still willing to fight for the best available talent. This sends a strong message not just to the supporters, but also to rivals. It's interesting to note that, despite all the excitement over Nick Waltermate, doubts remain about whether he can replicate his Stuttgart success in the Premier League. After all, scoring in the Bundesliga is one thing, but facing the tough English defenses is another challenge entirely. That's why Gallagher is seen as the safer bet, the player who can make an immediate impact without needing a long adaptation period. Eddie Howe knows this better than anyone. His playing style demands intensity, discipline, and mental strength. Gallagher, in turn, embodies this type of player. He runs until the final whistle, never gives up, and inspires his teammates with his energy. Considering what the coach values most, it's hard to find a name better suited to strengthen the midfield. It's like a perfect combination, ready to work. The English press is already discussing the impact Gallagher's arrival could have at Tyneside. Some experts believe he could be the missing piece for Newcastle to maintain consistency across a long and grueling season. Others go further, saying this signing could be even more important than Waltermates, bringing stability to a crucial area of the pitch. Everyone agrees it would be a major coup, but for this to become reality, speed is essential. The transfer window deadline is approaching rapidly, and decisions must be made in the coming hours. While rivals maneuver, Newcastle cannot stand still. And it is precisely this suspense that keeps the fans on edge, waiting for official announcements. Until then, all that can be done is follow every news item, leak, and rumor from the behind-the-scenes meetings. And you, supporter, what do you think? Is Gallagher the right name to elevate our midfield? Will Howe be able to fit him into a system that already has Bruno Guimaraes, Sean Longstaff, and promising youngsters demanding space? To make sure you don't miss the answers to these questions, subscribe to the channel. These next hours promise to be intense, and we'll follow everything together. In the end, Newcastle faces a rare opportunity. Signing Gallagher isn't just bringing another quality player. It's adding someone with Premier League DNA, abundant energy, and the spirit that makes a difference in big matches. If the club completes this deal, it can be said that they've made one of the best signings of the window. The expectation is set, and now the clock is the biggest enemy.